Hello and welcome. This is ASO TV News. I am Tina Oje Achu. The headlines. President Tinubu orders probe of Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council forge appointment claims. Gwagwalada Area Council hosts first security meeting. And on business, FCT IRS launches digital tax platforms to boost compliance. And now the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu has directed the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission to conduct a comprehensive investigation into the activities of the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council and all related matters. The President ordered that the investigation be concluded and a detailed report submitted to him within 30 days. The directive was disclosed in a statement issued on Tuesday by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. According to Onanuga, the order followed the discovery of the fictitious PFIPC, which he said was never established by the federal government and has no basis in any law, presidential instrument, executive approval, or any other lawful act of government. According to the statement, one Adeyemi Matthew presented himself as the Director General of the so-called PFIPC and falsely claimed to be a presidential appointee. The statement said among the issues to be investigated by the ICPC are the forged appointment letters and other official government documents, the use of a false claim of presidential appointment to seek or obtain official recognition and diplomatic support, including visa facilitation and the opening of multiple bank accounts in the names of purported government agencies using allegedly forged documents. It added that President Tinubu directed the ICPC to investigate not only the activities of the principal suspect and other collaborators, but also the broader circumstances that may have enabled a fictitious body and a false claim of presidential appointment to gain an appearance of official legitimacy. President Bola Tinubu has called on civil society organizations to support the federal government's development agenda by placing Nigeria's national interest above foreign influence. Speaking at the Southern Civil Society Organization Summit in Lagos, President Tinubu, represented by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Senator George Akome, urged CSOs to become active partners in promoting sustainable development, good governance, and poverty reduction. The president said the summit's theme, Nigeria First and Sustainable Development, aligns with the Renewed Hope agenda, as civil society has a critical role to play in advancing economic reforms, food security, healthcare, education, and accountability. He called for stronger collaboration in tackling climate change, supporting farmers, creating jobs for women and young people, while improving public service delivery through budget tracking, community monitoring, and social accountability. He, however, cautioned civil society organizations against accepting foreign funding capable of undermining Nigeria's sovereignty, urging them to embrace self-regulation and uphold ethical standards. The president also announced that a National Civil Society Organization Summit will be held in Abuja later this year. President Bola Tinubu has commissioned the new transitway N2 corridor linking Abuja Central Business District with Wuse, declaring that the Federal Capital Territory is no longer a city of abandoned projects. Represented by the Senate President Gospel Akpabio at the inauguration held to mark the FCT's 50th anniversary and the third year of the Renewed Hope administration. The president described the road as a major economic corridor that will ease traffic congestion, reduce travel time, and stimulate business activities. The president said he had directed the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Barrister Ezenwo Nyesom Wike, to restore Abuja's master plan and deliver visible results to residents. He commended the minister for exceeding expectations and stressed that under the Renewed Hope agenda, projects are funded, monitored, and completed, ending the era of abandoned contracts. FCT Minister Barrister Ezenwoye Wike attributed the rapid pace of infrastructure development to President Tinubu's decision to remove the FCT administration from the Treasury single account. According to him, the move now allows the administration to access commercial bank loans using its internally generated revenue as collateral, providing the financial flexibility needed to execute major projects. Wike also disclosed that he had initially doubted the contractor's ability to complete the project on schedule, but later commended the firm after significant progress was made. He assured residents that newly completed road would be reflected on digital navigation platforms, including Google Maps, to improve accessibility. The Executive Secretary of the Federal Capital Development Authority, Engineer Richard Dauda, said the Transitway N2 was awarded in October 2025 and completed within 9 months. He explained that the dual carriageway constructed by Levant Construction Limited features 2 bridges, solar-powered streetlights, pedestrian walkways, drainage systems, and a central median reserved for future rail transportation, making it the first major transit corridor of its kind in the FCT. The chairman of Gwagwalada Area Council, Comrade Kasimu Mohammed Ikwa, has held his first security meeting since assuming office. The meeting, which was attended by heads of security agencies in the council, took place at the chairman's office in Gwagwalada. Correspondent Abdullahi Mukhtar reports.
After the meeting, the chairman of Gwagwalada Area Council, Comrade Kasimu Mohammed Ikwa, said the deliberation with heads of security agencies were fruitful as they briefed him on the security situation across the nooks and crannies of the council. He noted that the information gathered will serve as a guide in strengthening security strategies and intensify efforts towards ensuring a crime-free environment.
I believe they are coming as traditional institution. Is a welcome development. It has been a routine exercise, and I commend them for giving their time with the Council Security Committee, make the deliberation very successful.
Comrade Ikwa stressed that security is a collective responsibility, adding that the role of traditional rulers in maintaining peace and security in their respective communities cannot be overemphasized.
Give a marching order for everybody to guard his business, because to avert the issue of clashes for either Fulani raiding farmers' plots or farms in grazing, so that we take a precautionary measure where route for passing to grazing fields are preserved.
The chairman further disclosed that with the commencement of the rainy season, the council plans to convene a meeting with leaders of planting herders and farming communities to sensitize them on the need to respect one another's activities and prevent clashes between farmers and herders.
I want to put a measure in place that every person around must register with the local government and with their identity, to avoid other foreign people taking advantage of the activity and do other things where there are a lot of immigrants. One will never know who is who.
Comrade Ikwa called on residents to remain law-abiding, peaceful and supportive of security agencies, stressing that collective efforts are needed to promote peace and accelerate the development of Gwagwalada Area Council for the benefit of all. The meeting was attended by the 2 paramount traditional rulers in the council, the Aguma of Gwagwalada, Alhaji Muhammadu Magaji, and the Ogora of Zuba, Alhaji Muhammadu Bello Umar, the council's director of administration, Alhaji Yusuf Abdullahi, as well as head of security agencies operating within the council. Abdullahi Mukhtar, ASO Television News.
The chairman of Kwali Area Council, Mr. Nuhu Daniel Kwali, has approved the appointment of Bawa Magaji Muhammad Pei as a new council secretary. The appointment was announced in a statement personally signed by the chairman and made available to ASO Radio and Television in Abuja. Bawa Magaji Mohammed, who served as council secretary under the immediate past administration of Mr. Danladi Chia, was reappointed in recognition of his dedication, loyalty, commitment, and outstanding service to the council. Mr. Nuhu Daniel Kwali called on political appointees to emulate the exemplary qualities of the new council secretary by demonstrating commitment and selfless service towards the development of Kwali Area Council, the Federal Capital Territory, and Nigeria as a whole. The chairman also urged the new council secretary to sustain the commendable performance he demonstrated during the previous administration and strive to achieve even greater success in the new administration. Mr. Muhammad Pei is expected to be sworn in on a date to be announced by the chairman of the council. The Public Accounts Committee of the House of Representatives has directed the Assistant General of the Federation, Mr. Shamsideen Ogunjimi, to appear in person on Monday, 13th July 2026. Chairman of the Council, Mr. Bamidele Salam, and other members during sitting on Tuesday at the National Assembly expressed deep concern at the non-responsive attitude of the AGF, describing his conduct as unbecoming of the country's chief accountant. The committee made reference to repeated failure of the Accountant General to honor invitations or provide critical documents required in the conduct of oversight and other constitutional responsibilities of the committee, and issued what it described as a final invitation. The committee, in a related development, also issued final invitations to 6 ministries, departments, and agencies whose accounting officers have repeatedly failed to honor previous invitations. These include the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, Federal Cooperative College, Ibadan Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria, Federal Ministry of Education, Federal Ministry of Innovation, Science and Technology, and the Federal Ministry of Police Affairs. The affected officers are to also appear before the committee unfailingly on Monday, July 13, 2026. Failure, the chairman, Mr. Salam, warned would force the committee to invoke all constitutional and parliamentary measures available to compel compliance. Mr. Salam reiterated the committee's commitment to strengthening transparency, accountability, and prudent management of public resources in line with its constitutional mandate. You're watching ASO Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on Star Times TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We are also on the UHF band on channel 38. Still to come, FCT IRS launches digital tax platforms to boost compliance. Stay with us for details of this and more.
From June 11th till July 19th, everything fit wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026 go happen. Touchlight all 104 matches on top 4 correct channels. Sharply grab your GoTV decoder, GoTenna plus 1 month jolly for only 15,000 naira. Live on Super Sport, only on GoTV.
Thanks for joining us again. The Police Service Commission has dismissed 4 senior police officers and imposed various disciplinary sanctions on 31 others over acts of misconduct, reaffirming its commitment to strengthening discipline and accountability within the Nigerian police force. According to a statement by the head of protocol and public relations, Toti Ijoku Kalu, the decisions were taken at the commission's plenary meeting held at its corporate headquarters in Abuja. The commission said the 4 officers were dismissed after they were found guilty of gross misconduct, unprofessional conduct, and acts unbecoming of public officers. According to Kalu, the PSC also approved a range of disciplinary measures affecting several other officers. He said 10 senior officers were reduced in rank, comprising 3 superintendents of the police demoted to deputy superintendents of police, 2 deputy superintendents of police reduced to assistant superintendents of police, and 5 assistant superintendents of police demoted to the rank of inspector. 2 other officers were compulsorily retired in the public interest. The PSC spokesman noted that the disciplinary actions also included severe reprimands for 10 officers, reprimands for 5 officers, warning letters for 3 officers, and a letter of advice to 1 officer. He said the commission, however, exonerated 7 officers after clearing them of any wrongdoing. Chairman of the commission, DIG Hasimo Salihu, retired, reiterated the boss zero-tolerance policy towards indiscipline in the Nigeria police force. A magistrate court in Abuja has convicted a 26-year-old motorist, Atada Victor, for dangerous driving, assaulting an FRSC marshal and other traffic offenses after he allegedly knocked down a road marshal and rammed into an FRSC patrol vehicle while attempting to evade arrest during a traffic enforcement operation in the Federal Capital Territory. The FRSC spokesperson, Deputy Corps Commander Oshundu Ohere, in a statement today said the injured marshal who sustained head and eye injuries is receiving treatment at the National Hospital Abuja. The court sentenced the convict to 2 weeks of community service and ordered him to pay 1.8 million naira as compensation for the repair of the damaged patrol vehicle and the marshal's medical expenses. Reacting to the judgment, FRSC Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed said the conviction demonstrates that attacks on law enforcement officers will not go unpunished and urged motorists to obey traffic laws and cooperate with road safety officials. The chairman, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Mr. Ola Olukoyede, has handed over 1,452 hostel items to the Federal Ministry of Education. Mr. Olukoyede, who handed the items to the Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa in Abuja, said they were recovered during a major anti-cybercrime operation in 2024. According to him, the items comprise 501 double-step bunk beds, 939 mattresses, and 12 wooden beds with mattresses recovered during a special operation codenamed Operation Eagle Flush. The FCC boss also added that the handover was in line with the federal government's policy of deploying proceeds of crime to criminal social sectors. The Minister of Education, who received the items on behalf of the federal government, commended the EFCC for the recovery efforts. He pledged that the assets would be deployed to areas of greatest need, especially unity schools across the country, to improve learning conditions for students. He commended the EFCC under Olukoyede, stressing that the commission now operated within the rule of law and upheld the highest professional standards. The Central Bank of Nigeria has reaffirmed the legal tender status of 100 naira banknotes of both the commemorative banknotes and the standard note, insisting on the acceptance for all transactions nationwide. A press statement issued and signed by the bank's acting director of corporate communications, Mrs. Hakama Sidi Ali, explained that the bank's reaffirmation of 100 naira note acceptance comes against the backdrop of rejection by some members of the public, businesses and other stakeholders, apparently due to doubt about its continued legal tender status. The Apex Bank reiterated that both the commemorative 100 naira banknote and the standard 100 naira banknotes remain legal tender in Nigeria and must be accepted for all transactions nationwide. The CBN strongly cautions individuals, businesses, financial institutions, and other economic agents against rejecting the standard 100 naira banknotes, noting that such rejection constitutes a violation of the provisions of the CBN Act and undermines confidence in the national currency. According to the statement, the bank will not hesitate to applying appropriate enforcement measures against any person or entity found to be in breach. The Federal Capital Territory Internal Revenue Service has unveiled Tax Portal, a digital tax management platform designed to simplify tax registration, filing payments, and the issuance of tax clearance certificates. The platform was launched during a stakeholders' engagement with ministries, departments, and agencies in Abuja as part of effort to modernize tax administration under Nigeria's 2025 tax reforms. Executive Chairman of FCT IRS, Michael Ango, said the platform allows taxpayers to complete virtually all tax-related transactions online without visiting the service offices. He explained that Tax Portal automatically applies statutory release and allowances provided under the new tax laws, enabling users to calculate liabilities, make payments, and obtain tax clearance certificates through a self-service portal. Ango said the digital platform is expected to improve voluntary tax compliance and strengthen internally generated revenue for the Federal Capital Territory. He stressed that while the new tax laws provide sanctions for defaulters, the service will continue to prioritize voluntary compliance by giving taxpayers opportunities to regularize their obligations before enforcement measures are applied. Also speaking, Executive Secretary of the National Assembly Library Trust Fund, Henry Wana, described the enforcement engagement as a strategic step towards strengthening collaboration between government institutions and tax authorities. Director of Tax Operation, Salome Adeyemi, urged taxpayers and MDAs to embrace the new platform, while Tax Controller Fatima Abubakar highlighted key provisions of the 2025 tax reforms, including mandatory taxpayer identification numbers and penalties for non-compliance. Participants at the event commended the initiative, describing it as a transparent and efficient approach to tax administration. The FCT IRS also demonstrated the platform's integrated payment solutions and security features, expressing confidence that Tax Portal will enhance service delivery, improve revenue generation, and support sustainable development across the Federal Capital Territory. And that's the bulletin, but before we go, let's take another look at one of our major stories. President Bola Tinubu has directed the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission to conduct a comprehensive investigation into the activities of the Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council and all related matters. And that's the bulletin. I am Tina Oje Achu. Thanks for watching.